Hi there, and welcome to the Multiply You podcast, where we showcase top experts in their space and reveal all the secrets you need to know to multiply you.
Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Austin Clark here, host of the Multiply You podcast. Super excited today to be able to have my real good close friend, Tommy Mello, on of A1 Garage Door Services. He's a total rock star. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Tommy, you'll probably be a regular contributor. There's no way that we'll be able to pack into 45 minutes all the things that's in this guy's mind and brain and what he's done, but we've got a couple of key things that we'll speak about today and talk about today. Before we get into it, this message is sponsored by Moxie Pest Control. We have been so lucky, so fortunate. We have just been having tremendous amounts of growth, not just here in Arizona locally, but nationally. I think that we grew by probably 100% this last year in Phoenix, and we grew by about 75% nationally. And one of the ways we grow all the same ways, Tommy, that you do and other companies do, the digital marketing, the SEO, the PPC, the just good old fashioned taking care of customers and incentivizing them to be able to refer. But the last few years we've grown, and I think that this has helped us exponentially, but we've grown via acquisition. And so if anyone's out there and you guys are listening, 3, 4, 5+ trucks on the road, they're in the pest control business in Arizona, specifically looking to get out, have them get in contact with me. They can call or text me. That's the best way. We would love to be able to learn about those opportunities and visit with them. My cell, it's 480-254-9730. Tommy has been a friend for, I think, we met probably 10 years or so ago, Tommy. Is that about right?
Back in the old Tempe shop. Yeah, Tempe place, buddy. That's been a long time.
2125 East 5th Street. I still remember the address. I think we were 110 and you guys were 5 or 6 suites down. But Tommy's been a great friend for a long time. He's an excellent person. It's good to be able to grab lunch with him a couple of times a year, pick up the phone anytime. He's very generous with his time, very available, and have just appreciated that friendship. Tommy owns A1 Garage Door Services. The company's massive. They are just smashing it, not just here in Arizona. I think you guys are in 14, 16 markets right now. I know you guys...
18 states, 26 markets.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, we talked a month ago and it was what I said, and then we talked now and you're, literally opening markets every week. I was in Oklahoma City, I think like a month and a half or 2 weeks ago, saw one of Tommy's trucks on the road, took a pic, sent it to him. And I mean, Tommy's just everywhere that you are and everywhere that you're not. And so incredible marketer, very, very brilliant businessman, humongously lofty goals, and just really a trailblazer for not the garage door space. I don't think that Tommy's, and I'm not speaking for him right now, but Tommy is, as I've described Tommy to different people, he is a marketer at heart. I think that he'd probably be just as happy selling hamburgers or, in another type of service business. But it's garage doors for him. He has many other businesses that he has his hands in, but A1 Garage Doors is his bread and butter. Tommy, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. I got back from speaking in Vegas, and my good buddy, Joe Crisara, he's the best sales coach in the world. And then I went to South Florida, spent some time with my great buddy Keegan in Naples, went to Key West, drove on his $1.5 million boat. It's just, he's so successful and putting myself around the best people in the world all the time. If you want to be a better golfer, hang out with great golfers. If you want to get in better shape, hang out with people in shape that work out more. And I'm really fortunate that people have let me come into their lives, including yourself, and just really, it's just an amazing ride. I love my life. I really do.
Now I know why you never call me to golf, because you want to get better at golf. And so you're like, I'm not calling that guy. I got to call, I got to call really anyone else besides Austin. We have a couple of talking points, but maybe before that, we kind of start. I know a lot of your story. A lot of people listening don't. You're from back east, you're from Michigan, you're from those types of areas. How did A1 give us a couple of minute summary of, day one to today? How did all of that happen? How did you find yourself doing what you're doing?
I've always been this guy that just, since I was a kid, my mom and dad got a divorce and my dad had a transmission shop. I learned how to make money as a kid. I remember the first time I walked into a garage sale and I was 5 years old and there was a CB radio that I wanted. It was like 20 years old at the time. So it had this really long antenna. It had a little mic on it. And I walked back to the car and my dad said, hey, put your head up a little bit. Why are you sad? He goes, let me guess, you wanted that CB radio. And I said, yeah, Dad, that's what I wanted. And he said, well, go get it. He goes, here's $5. And I look at him and I say, Dad, it's $20. It had a piece of Scotch tape that said a 20 on it with 2 little zeros. And he said, Tommy, I want you to go offer her $5 and I want you to look back at me and wait. And I mean, this is like the walk of shame, man. I'm like, dude, I can't believe this guy's doing this to me. This is like, and I was pretty good at math. I was like, this is like a fourth of the price. I was good at math as a young kid. I did my sister's homework that was 6 years older than me. But, I walk up there and I go, ma'am, I'm like, I really love your CB radio. And I was wondering if you would take $5. That's my dad over there. My dad's smiling and waving. And she gets down on both knees and hands me the radio. And that was my first negotiation. So he always kind of taught me to be excited at life, passionate, always want more. And my mom gave me a ton of love. So, I was mowing lawns and shoveling snow like every kid does in Michigan, and moved to Arizona, started bartending. I was buying and selling Bowflexes. I was buying them on Craigslist, selling them in Arizona Republic. I had an ad going for 3 years, started doing, I did Bowflex and I did Chuck Norris's Total Gyms, and anything I get my hands on, I was flipping stuff. I was bartending. I was doing landscaping. I was redoing, I was doing water conservation analysis for large companies and in the landscaping business. So I switch over their sprinkler system to drip systems. And man, but whenever I went on vacation, shit would just fall apart a little bit. And I'd get into, wouldn't make money and I'd come back to messes. And I'm bartending, I'm doing all these things, I'm buying and selling cars, and my buddy says, hey, dude, you're the most hungry dude I've ever met. I'm working for this garage door company. Would you ever consider painting the garage doors? And I go, well, I don't know how to paint, really. I'm like, how much does it pay? He's like, I get you $100 a door. You could probably do 2 or 3 a day. I was like, look, I'll take the job. So I hired a painter, and I said, I'm going to let you paint 5 doors, but you got to teach me how to paint. I'm just a kid. I'm 20 years old. And I want this. Would you consider taking me on as an apprentice for 5 jobs? He goes, yeah, absolutely. If you're going to pay me the whole amount. So I hire, he teaches me how to fan the sprayer and exactly how to tape everything off. And I got good with him. And then I go paint my first job in Ahwatukee, which is, those of you listening, it's a part of Phoenix. It's a nice area. And I put this Magnum 5 together I get from Home Depot, and I'm putting it together and I tighten everything up with the little wrench in there. I'm painting this old lady's door and I'm painting it yellow, and she runs out, she's screaming. And the sprayer I didn't tighten it enough, and it's spraying, puking like large loads of paint all over her windows and all over yellow all over her house. I got a Brillo pad. It took me hours and hours to clean up because now it's funny, but it was a pain in the butt. But then I called every garage door company in Phoenix and I became their painter. So I'm meeting up all these companies all the time. I could do 10 doors a day. If I had full jobs, Saturday, Sunday, I could make $2,000. 10 jobs a day, $2,000 at 20 years old. I'm bartending at night, making a few $100. I'm flipping Bowflexes. Man, I'm doing good. And I always knew how to make money. I was saving money. I got my Roth IRA maxed out since I was 16. But I just realized there's got to be more to it than this. So I went and got some paint chips, because they cut out a section of the garage door and they'd give them to me so I could match the paint of the old door. And I met with the guys. They're like, yeah, man, I made good money today and I'm learning about the business. And my other friend got a job as a technician. So we went out and ran jobs, and I'm like, dude, forget everything else. Let's start a business. He's an amazing guy. We're still best friends. We started in 2006, 7-ish. And 3 years into it, we kind of decided to go our separate ways. And that's why I wrote the book. I went from $50,000 in debt, the home service millionaire, to $30 million plus business in 7 years, because $30 million, right, is 2017 to 18. And I wrote this book about all the mistakes I made, and I got 12 co-authors in it. But I'll tell you what, I'm passionate. I make a lot of mistakes, Austin. I make more mistakes than probably 10 lifetimes of businesses. I run as fast as I could at failure. I just don't make the same mistakes twice. So I'm here. The first one to tell you is Do I ask for direction? Every day I'm reading a book, asking for people to let me come into their shop, learning better and more effective ways, asking questions, and hanging out with a crowd of people that just keeps me going. And I love it. I mean, I could retire today if I wanted to, and I'm not being cocky or condescending. I love what I do. I want to change people's lives. I get the pleasure of working with them, and I get to make their credit score go up. I get to make them homeowners. I get to make them better fathers and mothers. I get to make them better sons and daughters. I get to make them better lovers, better, whatever it might be. I'm here to increase their life because that's what I'm passionate about. Because if I could change all these people's life, the only good thing that could happen is good things in my life. You know what I've learned is I got a painting out there. It's a canvas. It says this Native American kid. He says to his grandpa, "Hey, Grandpa, how do we live our lives?" And he says, "Well, there's two wolves. There's this very angry, bad, evil wolf that lives inside of you. And he goes, you have this other wolf, and it's kind, and it loves, and it's got compassion." And he goes, you got these two wolves that live inside of all of us. And the little grandson says, well, Grandpa, which one wins? And he goes, it's the one you feed. The one that you feed the most. You know, I got a letter in the mail last week that said, Tommy, you're getting sued in Vegas for a guy that almost chopped his hand off, one of the crazy customers. I looked at it and said, we got insurance for this. Let's get it to the lawyers. I am not going to give this 1 minute of my time. I don't have time for this. I have time to praise people every day. I have time for listening. I have time to communicate, become a better leader, and read. I do not feed the evil wolf. I focus on the great. And I think that's the key element to having not only a great business, but a happy life. So I know that was a long story about A1, but I'm very passionate. I'm very excited to be where I'm at and just to be able to help people.
Well, and it's been incredible for me as a friend, too, to see kind of from afar the last decade. I mean, coming up on decade and a half or so, just to see what you've done. I mean, the buildings that you've been in, the facilities, the vehicles that you've got on the road, the markets that you're in. And I'll, tell anybody and everybody that's listening. I mean, Tommy's a super generous guy, very, very genuine, too. Cares very much so about his organization. Not because he needs it anymore, because he doesn't, but he cares about people and improving their lives. There's some weird stuff, Tommy, going on in our country right now. One of the things that we had talked about before is just that there is, and I know that you've got a buddy that's really provided some awesome, tremendous value to you in terms of hiring. But we've got these stimulus checks that are going out. Everyone's hiring. There's a surplus of people that are available to be able to work on the market, but they're not. And just all these different conditions. What are some of the things? I mean, if you're going through it and we're going through it and everyone around us, is going through it, what are some of the tips and tricks you could share about hiring right now? How have you attracted talent and kept them? No one has ever gone through this exact thing before. What are you doing and what's helping you out?
Okay, this is going to be the most important moments of your life, the people that are listening right now. If you do what I tell you to do, and most of you won't, but if you do these things, I promise you tons and tons of success. So first and foremost, there's a guy named Darren Hardy. He wrote The Compound Effect, and I love this story. I say it all the time. He wrote this book, and he long time ago, when he was in his 20s, he wrote down what he wanted in a woman. And he wrote her smile, her eyes, the way she smelled, her motherly, everything about her. He wrote down 100 attributes. And then he looked at this list and he looked in the mirror and said, I can't get this woman. He said, who do I need to become to get a woman like this? A great mother, a great friend, a great communicator. How is this possible? So he wrote down 100 things that he'd have to become to get a person like that. And when I heard that story, I wrote down 100 things that my company would have to become to attract the kind of people that I'd want to work with me. And I say with me because they're my coworker. And so the best thing to do is you might not have a lot of money in your business, but you can make pancakes. And when you do make pancakes, you could also build a program to recruit people that your employees make. Mine make $1,500 for everyone they recruit. So I tell them, if you love these pancakes, Tommy's Pancakes, then go live and tell all your friends that you enjoy working here and then make $1,500. But if you don't enjoy working here, when we feed you guys and when we do fun stuff and have group outings and what we were at the bowling alley yesterday, if you don't enjoy it, then don't lie. I don't want you to lie. But if you do enjoy it, if you think we really care about you, and when you build this place to say, when I worked at Cheesecake Factory, I was a busboy. Before that, I was a dishwasher. I used to, you name it, I've done it at a restaurant. And I was a busboy, and I hated being on call. I also hated it when I wanted to get cut at night, and they'd say, "You're going to stay here because I told you so." Worst answer you could give people. So I've been an employee, and I want to never make anybody feel like I used to feel as an employee. So really ask yourself, where would somebody want to work? I'd want benefits. I might want some help with retirement. I want a place that I could maybe increase my credit score. So we invested in Dave Ramsey. I want somewhere that I'm safe. So we pay for a big portion of their, what's that duck called? That's an insurance policy for the guy.
Aflac, right? There you go.
Pay for the basic Aflac plan. And then, I said, it's all performance pay. So they could earn a lot more. So it attracts A players. A players hate B and C players. 1A equals 3 B players. You pay one person $30. You pay 3 other people $15 an hour. That one $30 person will run circles around 3 B players. You save $15. So performance pay. Go and look at your Indeed. Type in your company in Indeed. Compare it to A1 Garage Door Service. Look at mine. Click on it. Look at how the videos and pictures and stories. Then go to Glassdoor. See what your Glassdoor looks like. It probably looks like crap. Look at my Glassdoor, A1 Garage Door Service. And the fact is, I'm not bragging. I just realized that this is where people are going, right? This is where people look up your company. They want to look at your Yelp and your Google too, but that's for customers, not your internal customers. So that's number one. Number two, do you think for a minute, Austin, that your people are hanging out on Indeed and Craigslist? Only the people on the unemployment line. But to steal great, amazing people with a great work ethic, look at everybody needs a protection pad because they get caught, whatever's going on in their life, their family. I'm not saying everybody that's out of work does not deserve to be back at work. So I get that. But a lot of people still have a job and you're trying to give them, a lot of people say job versus a career. I say, I'm going to be a life changer. Everything with your life, your dreams are going to happen with us. So you create this magnet. And here's where everybody spends their time, Austin. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. They're on different social media sites. Some of them are on LinkedIn. And you find out where your avatars live. And you put the right bait of where they want to bite. And the right bait is a cool video of we got Big Buck Hunter, we got Golden Tea, we've got the coffee machines, we've got the bags, we've got the ping pong table, we've got the massage chairs. Just put a little bit of that. Have a couple employees talk about their last career and this career. And the thing is several months ago, my buddy's wife called me. Her name's Vanessa. And she goes, "Tommy, I'm so proud of you." I went and visited them in South Carolina, and they're just the happiest people. I know their whole family. They let me come into their home and spend the night for a week. They took me out sightseeing. We ate. And I met them together when they just met each other in 2007. But, I mean, just an amazing family. And she says, "Man, I love you so much." She goes, "I've been keeping up with you." And I'm like, I can't tell you how much it means to me. And she goes, "Listen, how's your recruiting going?" And I'm like, we're getting by. We got a pretty good thing going with the referrals, but, we've got the right stuff out there. And she goes, "Well, listen, me and Jody, Vanessa and Jody, they've been working on some stuff for truck drivers with CDLs. And in this environment right now, everybody needs truck drivers. They need their cargo to get from A to B." And I said, "Well, that's interesting. Are you getting a lot of apps?" She goes, "Tommy, I'm getting them more than they can handle." And she said the trick of it is putting out some funny, engaging stuff, but getting back to people right away. If someone hits you up, you need to be quick within minutes. And so we got this text messaging email platform. And I said, "Guys, can I fly you out here next week?" I said, that's how important it is to me. They flew out here. And I saw the system and I go, "Oh my God." And I said, "Guys, listen, promise me one thing. You won't tell anybody else this in the garage door industry. I'm your only exclusive guy. And they said, deal. And I said, I'll get you guys some business. And so it's Jody Underhill and Vanessa Underhill. And they're calling it Rapid Hire, rapidhr.com. But regardless of that, I told them the more people you get on here, the more people I want on my account. So I'll help you guys get some good accounts. But when we started doing geofencing, I could geofence wherever you buy your pest control stuff. I could geofence that every time someone walks in there, they get our ads. I could geofence all your competition. So every other pest control company in the city, I could get guys with experience. I could find where all of your guys are coming from. Maybe it's Amazon. They're working in the warehouse, and I could geofence Amazon and say, forget packing boxes. I got a better job for you. And I can make it descriptive for those employees. So geofencing, the average person on TikTok spends over an hour a day. Talk about being where your people are. So when you learn to be there, when you learn to geofence, when you learn to, it's display ads that pop up. The craziest thing happens. We got more applicants, but now we're picky as hell. The thing is, in this environment, I feel like I'm on top of the world because I get 100 interviews. One might make it through the whole process, and it's killer because an A player, Austin, and I can prove this to you. If your average ticket's $500 and they work 300 days out of the year, and the average, so $500, 300 days out of the year, 20 opportunities, and you take somebody from 60% to 90% booking rate, they make you $940,000 more. A CSR will make you $1 million more. So be picky, pay correctly, and understand what an A player does. And everybody I know is like, yeah, I put ads out all the time. I'm like, wait a minute, you spend $200 a month in marketing for new employees, but you're spending $100,000 or $50,000 or $10,000 to get clients? What if you top graded everybody? What if you were able to book calls and actually get there on time? What would happen if your company, if you had people waiting in line? One of the things I appreciate the most about you is in 2000, this was probably 2010 or 11. I walk in your office and I mean, you had CSR stacked. This is like, there were like 2-foot desks and you had a guy roaming in the middle. And the guy tells me, he goes, Tommy, I've got 20 people waiting to come on. And I go, what are you paying? He's like, minimum wage. He goes, we do a lot more than that for our employees, but it's not a huge, hourly. And I go, oh my gosh, you got people lined up waiting? And he's like, yeah. And he's monitoring everything and the phones are blasted. There's 2 people on a call and he's on the call. And I'm like, this is fun for me to watch. And I used to walk over there and you guys would have your whiteboard meetings with your door knockers. And then you'd have this going on in the back. And I'm like, there's no excuses is what that told me. You could have it was small. Mine was small. And you guys were just hustling. And that's the thing is, there's so much more I could tell you, but buy a barbecue, do nice things, buy a ping pong table, get a used one if you can't afford it. If you can't afford a ping pong table and a barbecue, go out of business. Just tell everybody that you're getting out and go be an employee again because you don't deserve to run a business.
Well, and there's never been a better opportunity than right now. When, at least for me, when I hear people saying, hey, times are tough, hard to hire, that's like, okay, I need to be listening and we need to turn things up a notch because people are looking to do different things. They're looking to do different jobs. And if you can go and get that talent, you're definitely right. The people, I mean, we post all over the place too, but like the people that you want, they aren't unemployed. They're employed. They're working at other places. And so how do you go and get them? And it's just a great opportunity if we can capitalize, and anyone out there that's listening can capitalize right now by getting that talent in, you will be able to grow your company. I mean, think about it, everybody. The last time you went out to eat your food, it took a little bit longer to come your way, right? It's because there's shortages. And so you see signs and stuff on Instagram and Facebook and all over the place. Hey, be patient with us. Hey, we're understaffed. Hey, we're hiring. Hey. And so if you own a service business in Phoenix, wherever else you do, and you can capitalize on that and still be quick and still have your brand promise and get there. I mean, in our business, Tommy, with new customers, it's almost whoever picks up the phone first and gets there first. I mean, people aren't waiting. We don't have housewives sitting around for a week after they found a scorpion in their kid's room. They are calling that list, right? If someone's at their home and they're stuck in their garage because their garage door won't go up for whatever reason, I mean, if you don't answer that phone, they're not sitting around waiting to get their car out. They're calling the next guy. And so whoever gets there has that opportunity. And so fast is fast. And so go hire those people that will be able to provide the level of service that your customers are paying for and that they deserve, so that you can serve them quickly. They won't leave you. They'll stay with you. And so you go out there and you help them with their garage door in a bind. You put the sticker on there. You treat them well, right? Who are they calling the next time? Who are they calling the next time? It's always going to be you, because you were the one that served them and got there quickly and treated them well. Great opportunities. I mean, yeah, you hear that hiring is difficult, but it's a time to do different things, and it's a time to really double down on that. I love what you said too, Tommy, just becoming the company that your employees want you to be or want, you know what I mean? And there's so many low cost, high value yielding things that you could do. I love the fact that you said used ping pong table, or you don't have to go spend $500 on a new barbecue. If you can, you want, but you can do something. You can do something for your employees to improve their lives today. You got something there. What do you got?
This book about a lot of
There you go.
I think you guys, 1,501 ways to reward employees, low cost and no cost ideas, best practices, latest trends, proven strategies, ways to motivate the millennial generation. But this book is just full of gold. You don't need to do anything special. A simple employee of the month and let them park somewhere, or give them a free day to go do what they want if you're slow, or there's so many ways to make your employees love you. And, I talk about the book, The Dream Manager. I read it. I'm obsessed. I'm hiring a dream manager, that your dreams will come true when you work for me. What are your dreams? If it's to own your own business, I'm going to help you do it, because you're going to give me everything you got for a few years, and I'm going to give you everything I got. And we're going to work together. If you want to own a Porsche, we're going to get you there. If you want to own a house, if you want to pay for your children's tuition, whatever it might be, we need to know your dreams. And we are going to use your dreams to motivate you to work. And it's going to be win-win, because we're going to celebrate when you buy a house. We're going to party like it's 1999, right? I just, you could hear that I'm in love with this concept of it's a mix between a life coach and someone that helps you manage your finances, like the Ramsey program, and a little bit that creates some accountability and just really reminds you all the time about what's their why? Why are they doing this? And if you could bring their why into their work life and create meaningful relationships, watch what comes out of that. It's so much fun. It's so interesting. It's just, I think every office around me is like, Tommy's on a podcast again, but I love this stuff.
He's yelling, Tommy's on a thing again. So back to the Dream Manager stuff. I mean, have you implemented that already, or are you looking to be able to hire that person now?
So we're looking for a dream.
And then why for you? Does it come from a place of pain, or does it come from a place where you're wanting to do more for your employees that are there right now? What has caused that to happen for you?
So as I've been really listening, you got two ears and one mouth. So as I'm seeing the guys that are staying, I have not had a lot of people leave. I've not. This is amazing, and I tell you, I'm probably a 6 out of 10 as far as what I believe the culture is. A 10 out of 10 is like, so there's a net promoter score. There's also a net employee score, and I don't. Some people might not feel heard, and the real deal is I'm excited to become better. I'm excited to be the best I can be, better my best. Now, I don't compare myself to other shops, because I do think we're better than most, but I want to become something that literally, when you have a baby, I think the whole company should rejoice. And I want to give the little one pieces. And right now, we're investing in a lot of the platforms that we're going to be running this stuff on to figure out their dreams, figure out their goals, help them hit financial goals, help them increase their credit score. I'm going to have, right now I already have this, but once a quarter that someone talks about home ownership, the 401k, we're doing some stuff with that. Ultimately, I think my main goal, and I haven't hired this person yet, because it's not like you just say dream manager today. We got to put them through a course. We got to identify the right person. We got to start doing surveys. We got to start getting people to buy in. You need a plan for this. But when I do this, it's going to come from 100% from the heart, to where, look, when you help people, when you truly are helping people, and you're a Bible man, there's only one thing that can happen, is truly prosperity amongst you. The good part of your life is not the money. It's really how you make people feel. And it's really inspiring others and motivating others and seeing them meet their dreams. Because when that's truly the case, Austin, I promise you, that means a lot more than all the money in the world. I watch people make a lot of money. Look at the guy that made it. He said, Tommy, I miss my business. I miss my people. I sold out and I probably shouldn't have. And some people want that. And you know, Austin, there's something. I wake up in the morning not to come in here and see how much money I made. Because honestly, it's fun to make money because I can do what I want when I want with who I want because I use it as a tool. But I use it to bring people up with me. And there's something that's to be said that's amazing about that. And I'm not amazing. I just know that the people around me, the people that are here, they've inspired me to be more than I could ever be alone. So.
Incredible. No, thanks, man. I really appreciate you, sharing some of those things and just, with all of the experience that you've had and, gathered over the years. And it's just been really fun to be able to watch you from afar go and stumble and get up and go and stumble and get up. And just like you said, fail as fast as you possibly can. What are some things right now, Tommy, that are going on in A1 that need fixing? What are some things that need your attention? I mean, what are some of the things that are taking your time up in a good way, like project-based stuff?
Well, we outgrew this building, so we bought the building next door. There was
you just moved in like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. So we bought the building next. We're in the process of buying it. We got keys, and we're building a whole new training center, 7,000 square feet. It'll be able to handle 120 technicians a month. So my whole concept keeps going back to, Austin, it's how do you attract A players and how do you keep them here forever? And that is not something that's just temporary. It's not just like, this month I figure out how to keep people happy forever. No, this is an ongoing thing. So that's my big thing right now. And then we're learning how to consolidate companies. I got my first huge consolidated company that's closing in 2 weeks.
Congrats.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm figuring out right now, I'm working on a process to buy out 50 small companies and 10 big companies next year. And you might say that's impossible. So write that down and then write down what would need to happen. What kind of teams would you need? Who's going to do the outbound? And here's the deal, Austin. I'm not going to send them. And listen, this is not knocking your letter because I thought it was amazing. You send out these folders. What if you got a little booklet that said everything about Austin, about everything about Moxie, all the research? It showed their Yelp score. It showed everything. It showed why you're interested in their business, why you love them, why you'd be a good partner. And it showed more about that person, that one person you're going after. And every month you sent a nice gift. Like, look at this stuff. I've got this nice board that came, the Mello family, right? The Mello family. A nice, there's these cups you could send. They're always thinking about people, right? It's got their names in them. They're the best. You've got this really nice, expensive board that's got all this nice stuff in it, So what if we could send gifts and books? And what if you identified the Dream 100, the 100 companies you want to buy, and you spent the time to do the research? You hired some VAs and you participated in it. You sent them gifts all the time, and you understood that these 100 businesses or 100 clients can make the difference in the world. That's the ultimate sales machine, right? Narrow down your focus and find out your super avatar and then get in front of them and say, listen, I'm creating a win-win. It is the biggest win that they're ever going to have in their life. What if I told you, Austin, right now it's hard to hire. You can't get products. You hate your finances. What if I said I could handle all that? What if I said I'll pay you double what you're worth today and still leave you with some equity? And I'll give you a lot of money today. You'd say, count me in. You got to create a scenario that's going to make people just say, I'd be dumb to say no. And that's what I'm obsessed with. Because if I buy 50 small companies that are 300,000 EBITDA and make them into $1 million, that right there is $1 billion company with just those 50 small companies. $1 billion. Now, I already got the software. I've already got the conversion rate, average ticket, and training center. So this stuff is not that difficult. It's like my eyes have been closed for years and now they're wide open. And that's what excites me, is how am I going to be able to partner with hundreds of companies that are going to benefit from me as much as I'm going to benefit from them. And if you could create that, I promise that relationship, people are going to start calling left and right saying, I want some of that. Give me some of that. Let's get part of this, because their life's going to get easier. They're going to make more money, and they're going to have this huge amount of money that's going to allow them to create generational wealth for their entire family. So that's what I've been up to lately.
Been busy. You always are. Tommy, as we kind of round this thing out, you are very, very well connected, always networking, always connecting other people. Who are some people, whether it's in town or just otherwise, that have been mentors to you? Why? You're a student. I mean, you're always reading, always listening to podcasts, always doing your own deals. You know what I mean? But who are some people that have really helped you along your path, or different books or authors or people in town?
Yeah. So Al Levy's in town. He was one of the first guys on my podcast. He wrote a book called The 7-Power Contractor. He helped me get organized, build a very good org chart, a depth chart, really understand how to build manuals. Strongest, most important thing that happened to me was Al getting me organized. So Al Levy, I was speaking at an event a couple of years ago, and there's this people that were talking about this book, Go for No. And I've been buying hundreds, probably up to 1,000 copies, and I give them to everybody. It's a simple little story, but it's an amazing story. Ken Goodrich has been a mentor. My buddy Keegan. The deal is Aaron, I got all these people, Tom Howard, I got all these people that I surround myself with that are just, they see what I'm working on and they go, dude, we like it. And I always stay humble. I never act like I know everything. I never try to tell people. I invite 10 people through my door every week to come learn what I've learned. And if you give back, I think that's the key, is I try to give out as much as I take, because I'm always visiting other shops. Why not let people come into my shop? And I brought at least 15 people through your shop, and I enjoy it. And I really think that, Lenny Gray, I met Lenny Gray because I read his book, and then I got introduced to him. And then it's like, I'm not looking for the next best thing, but I'm always looking to get educated. And I can give you, a few books that you have to read, just right here. The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Compound Effect, the book Who. The E-Myth is by far the best book of any of these if you want to get into business. But there's a lot of great books on my shelf. The difference is I actually read them and I take notes and I apply it,
Well, and you kind of drilled into that a little bit earlier when you were talking about hiring, is you said, hey, look, people, I'm going to tell you something very, very important. It'll change your life, make you, successful, make you a bunch of money. Most of you won't do it, though. And so it's not in the knowing, it's in the doing, right? And so you've just done. Yeah, just get started. You've been doing a lot more. So Tommy, you're a rock star, great friend. Thank you so much for being on. Appreciate your words of wisdom. We'll have you on again. Thank you for, just your energy, your example, and just kind of trailblazing paths, not just for garage door companies, but just anyone that's around you, watching you from afar, watching you from inside your organization and seeing what you're doing. You're absolutely rocking it.
Hey, man. Well, you got me on green tea today. I just drank a big thing from Starbucks. Got lucky, but I'm into it. But hey, I appreciate being on. You're doing amazing things yourself. So keep up the great work.
No, appreciate it. You're always like this without green tea. You know what I mean? You're always like this. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll catch you next week. Appreciate you listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Multiply You podcast. You'll see us again soon when you subscribe for future episodes.